It's not what you did, son, that angers me so. It's who you did it to.
Who? The nobody?
That nobody is John Wick.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you. Always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality is tragedy, bro.
Hello and welcome to the John Wick Minute, the show where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate John Wick 1 minute at a time. My name's Samuel.
I'm Seth.
And I'm Steven.
And today we are discussing minute numero uno. That is to say, for those who get confused, 0 to 60.
Yeah.
Seconds.
You could say gone in 60 seconds,
Oh,
but that would be a totally different thing that we will not be doing a minute by
but
minute.
it will be coming up in minute 5.
Oh, that's true.
Fun.
That's true.
Foreshadow.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that's a reboot, by the way. The Gone in 60 Seconds with Nick Cage is a reboot.
Oh.
Same as Ocean's 11. Most people don't know Ocean's 11 with George Clooney was a reboot as well.
All
Learn
right.
Things. What's that rainbow thing? Now you know.
The more you know.
The more you know. Whatever.
Right.
I stopped doing rainbows with LeVar Burton.
Yeah. So this is an action-packed minute, I tell you what.
Yes. The
There's a
graphics
car
are
accident. I
nonstop.
mean, come on.
Yeah, it ends on a really high note.
There's a
It
car
does.
accident in the first minute. All right. That sounds like a big, exciting
Good
thing.
start. It's a good start. It is a good start.
So, yeah, we get opening credits. We have a bunch of logos, and I did all the research on them, so I'll just go through them really quickly. It's not a whole lot, and if you want to know more, Wikipedia is your friend. It's
Well,
sometimes.
interesting.
I don't know if it's your
Wikipedia is not your friend. Yeah, let me reword that. Wikipedia
but
is
you
not
can
your
read stuff on it.
You
Yeah.
can.
It may
all
or
right.
may not be true. It's kind of up in the air.
So the first thing you get is Summit Entertainment, a Lionsgate company. It started in the 90s before Lionsgate bought it in 2012. The most well-known pre-Lionsgate titles I saw were the Twilight films by Summit Entertainment. So
boy.
that doesn't bode well. But anyway, then we get an interesting CG logo for Thunder Road. It looks like it was
Yeah.
rendered on Blender. Like
Yeah.
it's like grainy a little bit. It's kind of interesting, but and it's like people riding a roller coaster. And
What is
the
it?
most
What's
well-known films that Thunder Road did would be John Wick and the Sam Worthington Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans.
I like those movies.
They did that.
I like the first one.
The
yeah,
second
I
one's
like-
just
I
kind of
didn't know they
fun.
did those.
It's yeah. The second one, I
It's
wasn't. a
just
big
pure
fan of
fun.
that one.
It's not great, but
Yeah.
it's just a lot of
I actually
fun eye candy.
genuinely really liked the first when it came
Yeah,
out.
it was a good remake
think
of
just
the
other
old.
people
It
don't
paid
know. I was gonna
homage
say.
to the old one. Like,
Yeah.
it did good. I liked it.
Although, if
It's
there
just
was
silent.
any movie that was going to make Liam Neeson not my favorite character, it's that. Like, Liam Neeson as Zeus should have been amazing. And it was just kind of like,
Well,
Listen,
Zeus isn't really a main
as I've
part of that
recently
story, though.
learned-
So
As we have recently learned, Zeus apparently can't be played
oh,
well at all.
no. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Sean Bean was Zeus. He did a good job.
Oh, yeah,
He did a
he
very
Yeah,
good
he
job.
did a good
Did he
job.
die in that one? I feel like
You would think. All right. Well, anyway, so
Russell Crowe died. Russell Crowe
Russell
should have
Crowe- oh my
died.
No, he didn't.
Although, granted, he
And
performed well,
credits. He
but it
didn't
was
die.
terrible.
Spoilers.
I don't know if
We
I
did
saw it in
not stick it
credits.
out for that. That
It's
is the
not
only
worth
thing
it
I
if he's
did
not
not
dead.
stick it out for.
All right. Well, anyway, so after you get those two logos, then it drops into just words saying the
The
different
same
companies
exact thing.
for a little bit. It looks like a Fast and Furious font almost.
It does.
It's
It's
all
very
caps
similar.
and it looks like Fast and Furious font, but it's Thunder Road Summit Thunder Road, and then it says 8711 Productions, which I guess they do big action and stunt stuff. MJW Films. I had a
Mary
really hard
Jane
time
Watson.
finding. Well, yeah. Oh, I didn't think of that. I had
What?
a really hard
You
time
didn't?
finding
That was
anything
the
on-
only thing I could think of.
It was I don't I couldn't even find the what MJW stood for. Like there were so many different things that went by the name MJW Films. None of them had Wikipedia pages. Well, actually, I had a hard time with that. And then this one was interesting. It's Definite Films, but it's all caps and it's spelled DEFYNITE. But when it's spelled out not in all caps like the stylized font, it's capital D and then capital N. So it's like Defy Night Films. So it's kind of interesting. But
Okay.
and they're
I see.
Chicago-based film company, and I guess they just were working with the others to make this. So there you go. That's
Cool.
the opening logos and companies that I
Then a car wreck.
yes, then a car wreck.
Very slow car wreck.
Very slow.
But not in slow motion, just slow.
We do hear a news anchor talking about weather on the radio. Talks about flooding and stuff in New York, and then we hear a helicopter fly by for some reason. That doesn't interact with the story at all, but
Background
and then
noise.
yes, a black Chevy Tahoe slowly rolls into the concrete of a loading dock of a brick warehouse filmed at Brooklyn Navy Yard. So
It was
Yeah.
filmed in New
Very
York.
exciting.
a lot of this was filmed in New York. Yes,
It's not cheap.
fun fact. No. But I mean, it was worth it.
Although,
Well,
they
maybe not this
actually,
scene, but-
what was the budget? We should have brought that up probably in our intro.
Probably should have
episode, but
looked at that. I didn't look at the
What
budget of
was
this
the
movie.
budget?
Quite small.
Not as high as the
actually.
second.
No.
I know
the
that the
budget for this
second
movie,
one-
if I remember correctly, I watched the entire commentary over the film, and I believe it was pretty small. It was not a large budget film.
I know they weren't allowed to even scratch their Mustang, so but obviously that wasn't a problem in later films. But anyway,
Right.
I know that was a thing. Like their budget was small enough, they weren't even allowed.
So
to break their
according
car,
to
so.
the ever so reliable, John Wick, the first one, budget was between 20 and 30 mil,
That is small.
did-
That is small.
and it did
150.
86.
86. Okay.
86.
4 times over. That's a success.
Yes.
Yeah, box
Why?
office was 86.
So I won't talk about it too much right now, but like we know where the Tahoe comes from
Yeah.
later on in the movie. Why
Chevy.
why do bad guys have black cars, SUVs all the time?
Because the good guys
Movies.
do too now, though. I mean, like
They do?
His is
the
gray.
Mustang's not white.
It's not
No,
black.
I'm talking black SUVs.
Yeah, well, I
Mus-
can tell
Mustang
you why.
is not black or an SUV.
The
Ready for-
government
ready
guys
to-
have black cars.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say,
Oh.
ready to put your tinfoil hat on? It's because it's a subversive way of saying the government's full of bad people. It's not wrong, but, that's
It's not wrong.
they're trying
Anyway,
to
and
tell
that-
us something.
Yeah, it's fine.
And that's exactly where the minute ends. We don't see who's driving this vehicle.
Black cars are cool,
They are.
even if it's a Chevy Tahoe.
That is actually my favorite scene from Black Panther. Is they're driving 4 black Toyota 4Runners through the streets, and he's chasing them down, and
Forerunners
really
are
cool
cooler
scene.
than Tahoes.
they are, and they have like grills on them and stuff, and they're lifted, so they're
Well,
pretty cool,
fun
but-
fact, the Tahoe is just a slightly less fancy version than the Yukon, and I had one of those till I got it in a car accident with a deer.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
Wait,
So,
so you don't have the
wait,
Yukon
wait.
at all anymore? I didn't. know
it's
that.
totaled.
Oh, I didn't know it was totaled.
Totaled. This Tahoe is
Yeah,
also going to be totaled.
Yes.
So yeah, so this does actually bring up a very interesting question.
Mhm.
If you are a villain,
Mhm.
what is your villain car? I don't think most of us are picking a Chevy Tahoe, but you do you.
Depends on if I have henchmen or not.
Yeah, that's the thing. The
Uh,
SUVs are for,
well,
for
that's
the
a good question.
henchmen.
Yeah.
So what do you as the villain want? And then what crappy car are you sending your henchmen out in?
So I personally drive when I'm not plotting to destroy the world or something. Like what I drive down to my vacation house in the Keys. Is that what you're saying?
You guys are villaining wrong because villains never drive themselves anywhere.
That's true too.
Like
It's
we
like
have
sometimes
other
they're gonna
people
get
drive
out, you know?
us.
It's gonna be a black Rolls Royce, I think.
Oh, good, classy.
That's-
You're
that's
talking
what I'm
like
going with.
old style, though,
Like
right? You're
Bond.
talking
Yeah,
like
like I mean, Newer ones are okay
Like
too.
1950s?
Actually, the new
I
ones
mean,
are kind of sweet looking.
I'm
With
I'm
the
talking
really
newer.
long profile?
No, I'm talking newer. I'm talking sleeker. Not quite
Oh.
Bond villain, more like Mission Impossible villain.
Like the one he has in Batman, not the Ben Affleck one, the Christian Bale movies. He's got a Rolls.
He does have a Rolls.
Yeah.
Is that the one? No, he runs the Lambo through the light.
Yeah. Because you don't want to mess up the
yeah.
Rolls. Mess up the Lambo, let the
Yeah.
Rolls be.
Right. Yeah. So
Batman's
that's
got
what
a tank. That's my least favorite Batmobile, by the way. I'm just gonna throw
Oh,
that out there.
what?
It's
No.
fun,
It's a
but yes,
tank,
it
it's not
doesn't
a
look like a Batmobile.
Mobile.
I'll give you that. If I were a villain, I don't know. I'm not a big supercar person.
Yeah, neither am I.
So, like, I don't know, maybe a Bentley.
Yeah.
Rolls Bentley. Anything like that that's really classy, says you're rich and a snob and a bad guy.
I probably should have thought about an answer for my question. That's what I probably should have done. I have no idea. It would be I'll just do Eleanor, but in bad guy. That's what I would do.
The bad guys don't drive American muscle usually.
Right.
The good guys, the retired, spec ops
Those gotta
guy
be like
drives
a German, like
yeah, well,
something.
yeah, it's got to be
Because
foreign made if you're a
Germans
bad
are
guy.
just always the bad guys.
Well,
Except in John Wick, it's the Russians.
Except in John Wick, yeah.
well, it's
man.
either the Germans, the Russians, or the Chinese, or it's everybody but
But America, right? No.
but America. But I mean, nobody. I wonder how other countries do their movies. Are like there are bad guys, the Americans? Like, does that happen? I'm
Oh,
sure
oh,
it does.
yes. Kingsman, the bad guy's American.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, true story.
Kingsman, those movies, man. Those are
True
some.
story.
Yep.
Not doing those minute by minute.
No.
That's
They'd probably be really good. Challenge to you listeners, make that one on your own, but
Yeah,
they
we
probably
can't
do
make
well.
that one.
I wouldn't.
We
do
would
it,
have
no.
to wash ourselves after
Yes.
a lot of minutes.
Yes. And yeah, my henchmen are taking 15 passenger vans or 50 passenger vans.
Yeah,
I don't
the
care.
big,
Load
very
up as many as you
conspicuous.
can.
Oh heck, I'll just get a decommissioned school bus. There you go. Throw them in there.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Jack it
matter.
up, put giant mud wheels on it.
Make it a zombie apocalypse, Mad
Yes.
Max kind of
so
like.
I would
school
have
bus.
That'd be
tiered
great.
henchman vehicles, right? Tiered. So the top tier guys get the Chevy Tahoe. Okay, they get the Chevy Tahoe.
Oh,
The
that's
guys underneath.
great employee perks there.
That's right. That's right. You get a Chevy Tahoe. Was not really for you. You have to share it with the 5 other dudes, but like
I'd at least make it a
you-
Hummer for my top tier
Hummer.
guys.
That's the bodyguards. They get the
Oh, okay.
the Hummer.
Yeah.
But then the guys under them, like the disposables, if you will,
They get the Tahoe.
I am not putting them in anything better than like
A Prius.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say the little smart cars.
What?
Like,
What determines the tiers of your henchmen though? Like, why are some disposable and some not? What are the other ones?
It's
for?
all about how much you pay them.
But why would you?
why
pay
do you
them
pay
more?
them more? That doesn't
Because
answer
you
the
pay
question.
no,
It's
oh
bad.
no. You pay the lower tiered ones less because you don't really trust them to
Right,
save your life.
Because
You just
okay,
throw
because
them
you
at
don't
the
answering the
yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Now you're answering the question.
Right,
It's
because they're
because
it's
they're this or that.
exactly. You don't trust them to actually be able to protect you from someone like John Wick. So they're like the go distract him while these guys get me away.
Right. So there's your trained fighting bodyguard guys you trust, and then there's your disposables and whatever in-laws and relatives you don't like. Yeah, those are
They kind of know where to point a gun, and then
They're
Yeah.
basically bouncers that you just hired because they look big and they scare most people.
all right, and they're getting the smart cars.
they're getting.
I feel like smart
little-
cars are too
little-
expensive for that, aren't they?
Actually, it's probably true. I was trying
Yeah,
to think
the
like
Prius, dude.
small,
A
but-
15
gotta be the
passenger
Prius.
van.
Yeah. Okay, but if a Prius or if you do the 15 passenger van, it has to be one from like the late 90s though.
Yeah, the new
That
ones
way
are
it's, you know,
expensive.
400,000
Oh.
miles. They may get to the fight. They may not.
No 4-wheel drive. Not
Chevy
showing out for the
half-truck.
extra.
Geico plan on those
Yep.
vehicles. Yeah. Gotta keep. Good driving record.
This is how we keep our money as supervillains. We're frugal.
Exactly.
We drive safe. Progressive thing or whatever. The Chevy Tahoe does not get one of those. They do not get a driving safe discount.
Okay, well, if we don't
It's
have
not-
any...
Car insurances cover bullet holes. Nobody answers that question. I don't see that on my policy.
Doubt it.
Probably
Actually,
not.
yeah.
Ask my
I don't know.
Geico agent that.
Full
We save you
coverage.
50% or more on bullet holes.
You can.
All right, well,
Do you purchase your bullet holes? You get 50% off the next bullet hole you want.
no, 15% off your
Save you
coverage of
50.
bullet
Is
holes.
that what you said though?
That's true. You get 50% off covered with bullet holes.
There you go.
All right. Well, that is all we're going to have for this episode. We will move on to more action-packed minute in the next episode.
Well,
By that I mean
you get to see someone's face.
you'll have to see. You'll have to bear with it and tune into the next episode. So,
Smooth.
with that, I don't have anything. You guys have anything?
No, that's
We're
it for
good
me.
to move on. So we will see you
Alright,
next
well-
time on
The
John
John
Wick Minute.
Wick Minute.
Okay, Steven was out of sync that time.
Oh, I was
Maybe-
on sync on my side.
Oh yeah, over Discord you weren't. Maybe by the end of this we'll actually figure it out.
Doubtful. Goodbye.
So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks. We out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized. We out here making posters and we ain't got nothing to hide. We move forward like soldiers.